Hey everyone, my voice is clear. Hey everyone, right. My voice is clear. Right. My voice is so since it started, I just research about my document surface. So if you look at so in my platform, I have two interface. One is document, second is canvas. So last 2 days, I'm just researching one my document UI, and so last 6 hours I only research what would be the approach, how can I customize. So this is the my UI, and it seems very basic, and because I want to launch with basic things. But if you look at this project complexity and a code base, now I have more than 60,000 lines of code and 920 plus files, because to surface itself they have their own uh, pattern. This is a canvas where you can visualize the complex tasks into very organized and visual way. Because in real life, when you work on a complex project or complex code base, you have to visualize your stuff. And also, to execute in the right way, you need a documenting. You have to document your stuff. That's why I have a document. So where you can pretty much document your all the things. And so these two features already exist in the market, but separately. But I am building a AI manager or AI worker. My ultimate goal is that one human can run entire company. So I want to build infinite execution. So right now my AI will work as a assistant, but in version 2 I will implement agentic system. But anyways, so this is the document, and this document I'm using this library called blocknote. Right, so here you can do about like notion. So all the features, yeah, kind of notion you can imagine. Right, so last few hours am I'm completely researching on it. and I figure out the implementation roadmap. So now you can see this is my document and this is my canvas interface. So last 140 days I work on this project, and you believe or not, I create a very scalable architecture, and now I'm just working on my UI. So this is a canvas, and this is the document, and this document is very similar to Notion, and I can show you some, for example. So if you look at, this is my implementation. So right now I would organize my document code base, because right now I complete my entire canvas. If you look at, I have code, but for document I don't have. So these are just built-in UI. So yeah, from block note. So in this code base, here you are just organize all those components into their own file. So you are following a separation of concern. That is my architecture rules. Am I right? So now I have to just create this UI. So this is the document, right? And here you can do lots of things, like, right. So let me show you something. So you can now you can see this is the document, right? So I have to make this one production ready. So we have all the features we need, right? You can change the checklist, toggle list like this, and even you can make nested as deep as you want, right? So this is the built-in UI. But to make it production ready, and also we want to integrate AI, so we have to follow this approach. So I already documented. If you look at, I have plan, right? So last 4 or 5 hours, I just planning, and we have these four phase. This is one is editor foundation, and as I use block note, which is a library, and this library is 70% already provide. To build this code base, is there any things you need so you can design the right way? You need any runtime projection files, because now I have to integrate my runtime with UI. So from here I have to integrate, or what? Tell me. Hey everyone. Right now, if you're first time in this live session, so I'm building AI tools. It's kind of like act as a AI manager, so which can organize and automate entire business workflow and business operation. And if you want to see my UI, so I have these two UI. This is a canvas. You can imagine all the canvas stuff. But now I'm working on UI, so I'm making a production ready, and this is the document. So yeah, you can paste whatever you want. So this type of document handle lot of things, like you can add all these features. So yeah, all the things you can add, and even you can also, all the features we have, you can change the color, right? You can change the color, and then you can bold. So but here, if you notice, as I told you, I am integrating AI. So here I have to customize. I have to customize so that I can automate. And similarly, but my canvas also I build the basic, and first I have to fix this document. And now if you look at when it refresh, then data is gone because I have to integrate this UI with my backend. So that's I'm working on. And also I have to integrate a real-time collaboration as I'm building. This is so you can work with your team member in real time. So this project is very huge. Huge means very huge. If you look at my code base, this code base, I have more than 60,000 lines of code, more than 930 plus files, and I'm following very scalable architecture, and this is a real time, so the complexity is very high. That's why I'm sharing how I use AI tools and how I organize my to-do list. If you look at, I work as a professional because if you are building a very complex project or wherever you work, if your task is very complex, you have to break your tasks down into very exa- yeah, so you can execute your task. So yeah, that's a follow notion, and so this is my plan, and I also document each and everything because this is the product related startup, which means I have to iterate a lot, and this is the version one. So version one, I will launch as a AI assistant. In version 2, I will integrate agent. And to be honest, guys, in this project, I'm alone. Last four and a half month, I'm working on this project. And yeah, I iterate a lot, more than 10, almost 10 times. I refactor. I just start with some idea, and I convert those idea into. If you look at my plan motion, I have huge plan, and I just learn by doing. I get problem, I work on it, I fix. Again, I thought, okay, this scale doesn't, this code base doesn't scale. Then I refactor, right? So that's why nowadays I'm just a live streaming so that you guys can understand if you want to build a production ready SaaS platform or nowadays AI native platform. So from day one, you have to scale. You have to organize your tasks. And if you're alone, then you have to organize each and everything so that later on, or maybe if you bring team member so that they can work on. So that's why I just document my entire code base. If you look at even my code base also I documented. before creating this file, tell me in very short what each file has responsibility. Second, to design perfectly which file you need so you can connect the right fields, variable, or path. Again, I'm asking what problem selection action solve. Now tell me what type of uh, UI selection I need. Well, here I want to say something. Set document title. Right now in my document, there is no document title because I have a board container. So that container title is fine. So canvas and document is just a surface inside that container. So you have to keep in mind. So keep that payload, but I don't want to use because right now I don't need that. Second, as block node handles all the reorder block node. So here and even update content. So I can change. But this command for persisting data inside database, am I right? Or what? Because right now my document UI is not connected with backend. So now I'm just understanding how can I do that. So you said I need to create accent a code base, 3 files. So that's why I provide this. And now tell me what you need except these 2 files to create all to design all 3 action files. So right now I'm just fixing my and making my document production ready. So if you look at, so this is the document interface. Now I have to make it into production ready. So where I need to fix my UI and integrating AI and comment. So far, you have understanding of my product UI and UX and my implementation. So you answer this four question in a recommended way so that it can scale. And also keep in mind I'm using block node, which is handle a lot of things, but I want to make user experience better. So yeah, so both can exist. So I can launch faster and also maintaining scalability and good user experience. Now, if you look at my AI, I already implement this plan and architecture in my backend, which is AI runtime. And now you can look at, I also plan for Canvas and document. So now you can design my document UI so that I can implement this four category AI action into different UI. Some from action menu bar, which is menu side, and some text selection menu bar, and some from AI sidebar panel. So now tell me which file now I want to create first, action or something else. Just give me the roadmap. And earlier you answer those four questions, so you keep in that mind. You have to follow the best practice on this architecture as the architecture I am following in Canvas. As already block node handles all those text selection UI and reorder and nested UI, and also turn into uh, one block to another block, and slash menu, suggestion menu, all those UI are handled by block node. But as I want to persist all these changes permanently in my backend and live blocks, because in my architecture live blocks act as a reality, runtime act as a meaning, projection act as a representation, projection cache act as a store, which is cache store, and so you have to design that way so that the entire experience will be very good and production ready. And this is the real time as well. So now tell me which file you need to validate, as I provide most of them. Now tell me. So if you look at, if your first time in my live session, so last 140 days I'm just working on, and so this is the UI. I just fix all my issue, and now I'm just making it production ready. So I have two interface, a document and canvas. So this is my UI, and just I'm making this UI into production ready. So it's work like here you can paste the notes and you can change and the color, right? So these are UI related, but I want to persist. Not only that, my platform is collaborative, which means you can work with your team member. So I've already built my entire architecture. So last 1 month, I'm just focusing on refactorings. Then I did, and now I'm working on the UI. And last few days, I'm just fixing my UI, and now I'm creating a unified architecture for UI. And this UI is work, but the now if you look at when it refreshes, the data is gone. So that's why I have to connect my front end with back end. And also I have to design in a way so that it can become a real-time collaboration. Right. So that's I'm fixing. And also I'm integrating comment and AI. It's become very complex. So that's why I research a lot before working on. Otherwise I messed around. At this moment, I don't have any room to mess around because of because I already have more than 95 90 90 30 930 plus files and more than 60,000 lines of code. So that's why I use a Notion as a document. I create a huge plan. Right, I create a huge plan. If you look at, I documented each and everything because as you know, I'm just refactoring, I'm understanding. I research 2 or 3 times. Then because to be honest, I never worked this type of project. So this is my first time, and I'm just learning by doing, implementing, and then again I'm implementing. So I just documented each and everything: how my pipeline works, how code base work, how system works, so that I can connect. Because I'm refactoring, right? So I'm using AI most for mostly research purpose. So I already planned the code base, the architecture, the UI, the approach, and then when each and everything is cleared, then I ask AI, hey, write this code, which means I make AI as deterministic and reliable by providing all those information and instruction I need to. So that's why, guys, my ultimate purpose of this live stream, where I can show how I code, how I research. So as a result, from you can scale your code base or your project from day one because nobody share this type of big project. It's a very huge. This is a start of a level a code base. If you work on any SaaS platform or any uh, production ready code base, then you can imagine, and it's very big. So just think about for a second, 930 plus files, how complex it is, right? So and here, a lot of people say, hey man, you have to use agent, but here agent become very expensive. So if you have a resource, you can ask agent, and agent can walk through, and you can even build faster. But at the end of the day, if you don't know about your architecture, you cannot fix the bugs, or if you want to integrate, then AI take you where AI cannot understand, right? Because yeah, if you have again, if you have budget, resource, use agent. Agent can help you out. But at this moment, I don't use agent because I don't have resource. So I use manually researching, understanding. So I become a pro developer, right? Because nowadays you have to understand how to manage AI, and if you know your architecture, your code base, definitely you will take help from AI and then make faster. But if you don't know how to build it, what's architecture is, what code base is. You don't know what to ask to AI, right? So yeah, that's my goal of this stream, and I'm just sharing the raw, right? That's I'm I'm doing a live stream, and it's very hard, like researching, fixing bugs, implementing every single day, 14 hours. It's not fun anymore, and you can see my thumbnail. I work 14 hours in this room. If you look at last two and a half, almost 2 years, I just logged in this room and I learned technology. And then last 5 months, I work on it. So yeah, and this project is very scalable solution I'm making. Oh God, man. So right now I'm just researching about architecture because it's very. I have to create a unified and scalable solution. So that's why from every angle I'm researching and understanding approach because AI is not reliable because every chat you can get new answer. That's why I'm providing all the information I have to to get right design of architecture and flow. This is my This is my runtime document surface projection layer. So is there anything is not matching with my requirement or the features I want to build? Just review and tell me. Or these are ready to work with UI layer. Just look at only at document related runtime files, and after reviewing the given files, tell me, is there any file you need to review further, so that you can validate the architecture I want to build, and the mismatch, and the missing piece of code or pipeline. And then you can suggest me how can I fix those. as we chat for so long, now you have all the idea and all the features I want to build, and the resource I have, the implementation I did. So now tell me, with a roadmap, which file I need to add, which file I need to modify. So in my UI layer, I only have three files, as you know, and my runtime, whatever file I need to modify, add, just create those roadmap. And roadmap should be sequential order, which means which file first I need to modify, maybe create, so I can do one by one, so that the sequential order can fix. Again, I'm just creating implementation roadmap, because this is my UI document. Here you can paste anything you want. So now you can see, so this is called document, right? So, and even you can, all the, you can change the color. You see, you can change the color, you can change, you can delete, right? And you can add the new block, you can convert into one block to another. So the UI is